What if everyone had a death timer, except you? Have you ever wondered what would happen if every single person on Earth suddenly had a countdown floating above their head? Not their age, not their heartbeat. A timer showing exactly how long they had left to live. At first, almost everyone would think it was fake. Maybe it was a strange AR glitch. Maybe someone hacked every phone. Maybe everyone was just imagining the same thing. But then, the first timer would hit 0. And that person would die at the exact second their countdown ended. No warning. No explanation. No mistake. The timer would always be right. Within hours, videos would flood the internet. Thousands of people would record the exact moment someone's timer reached 0. The entire world would panic. Hospitals would fill instantly. Governments would hold emergency meetings. Scientists would search for answers. Religious leaders would claim it was the beginning of the end. But nothing could explain where the timers came from, or why they never made mistakes. Soon, society would completely change. People with decades left would stop worrying about dangerous jobs. Why wear a seatbelt if your timer says you'll live another 50 years? Why fear flying if your countdown still shows 30 years? Meanwhile, people with only a few days left would quit their jobs, spend time with their families, travel the world, tell people how they really felt, because they knew exactly when their life would end. Birthdays wouldn't matter anymore. The timer would become the only date anyone cared about. Schools would teach children how to deal with their countdown. Insurance companies would collapse. Nobody could sell life insurance when everyone already knew exactly when they would die. Doctors would face an impossible question. Should they even treat someone whose timer says they only have 2 minutes left? Or would they be wasting time they could spend saving someone else? The world would become obsessed. People would compare timers like they compare followers today. Some would be jealous of those with 80 years left. Others would become famous simply because they had only a few hours remaining. Live streams would count down people's final moments. Millions would watch. Some out of curiosity. Some hoping the timers were finally wrong. But they never would be. Then, something impossible would happen. Someone would be born without a timer. At first, nobody would notice. But eventually, someone would realize. One person had nothing above their head. No years. No days. No seconds. Nothing. The internet would explode. Who was this person? Why didn't they have a countdown? Scientists would want to study them. Governments would want to protect them. Or imprison them. Some people would believe they were immortal. Others would believe they caused the timers in the first place. Everywhere they went, people would stare. Photographers would follow them. News helicopters would fly overhead. They would become the most famous person on Earth. But then, something even stranger would happen. Everyone standing close to them would notice something terrifying. Their own timers would start changing. Someone who had 30 years left would suddenly have 3. Another person would lose 20 years in seconds. Others would gain time. Nobody could predict it. Simply standing near the person without a timer would rewrite your future. Cities would ban them. Countries would argue over who controlled them. People would hunt them. Some hoping to gain more years. Others trying to stop their own timer from changing. The entire planet would slowly descend into chaos. Wars would begin. Not over land. Not over oil. Over one person. The one without a countdown. Eventually, the truth would finally be discovered. The timers never counted down to death. Death was only a consequence. The numbers were actually counting down to something much worse. The moment your timer reached 0, reality stopped remembering you. You didn't just die. You were erased. Every photo disappeared. Every message vanished. Every video changed. Your bedroom became someone else's. Your friends forgot your name. Your family remembered having one less child. It was as if you had never existed. The reason everyone believed those people had died was because reality replaced every missing memory with the idea of death. Nobody questioned it. Nobody could. Except the person without a timer. They remembered everyone. Every erased friend. Every missing teacher. Every forgotten neighbor. Their memories never changed. Which meant they slowly became the only person on Earth who knew the truth. But that also explains something terrifying. They didn't have a timer. Because reality couldn't erase them. They were outside the system. And if reality couldn't erase them, it would eventually try something else. One night, every timer on Earth would suddenly freeze. No seconds. No minutes. No movement. The entire world would stop and stare upward. For the first time, the numbers weren't counting down. Then, every timer would disappear. Completely. People would celebrate. They would believe it was finally over. Until a new symbol appeared above every single person's head. Not numbers. Not words. Just one arrow. Every arrow pointed in the exact same direction. Toward the person who never had a timer. No matter where they were in the world. Every arrow pointed to them. Billions of people would slowly turn. Then begin walking. At first, thousands. Then millions. Then everyone. No one spoke. No one ran. They simply walked. Toward the only person reality couldn't erase. Because if the system couldn't delete the error, the world itself would. So here's the real question. If you suddenly looked around tomorrow, and realized you were the only person without a death timer, would you tell anyone?